We're back with Elisabeth TERRIEN, and we're joined by Patrick Francois, and we're talking about this new ZeBible and now how it's being used by young people really across the world. Now we're starting. Patrick, tell us about ZIléos. This is an organization, a youth group that you have started in Quebec and using ZeBible.
Notre mission, nous, c'est vraiment l'annonce de l'Évangile à cette génération qui ne connaît pas Dieu.
So our mission is to proclaim the gospel to this generation of young people who do not know God.
Et nous voulons les aider à fréquenter Jésus-Christ.
And we want to help them to meet Christ.
Et la ZeBible est un outil extraordinaire pour ça.
And ZeBible is a fantastic tool for this.
I've been reading and doing a lot of research and finding that over the years, we've seen a significant decrease of people following Christ, not just in the Catholic Church, but I think the Protestant churches have seen that as well. What has been the response for young people, and you're aiming for 15 to 25, what's been the response to ZIléos and this idea of really targeting them to teach them about the Word of God?
Alors, nous travaillons avec... nous avons la chance de travailler avec le mouvement Young Life aux États-Unis.
So we're very fortunate to be working with the movement Young Life in the US.
Et ils nous ont donné dans notre mouvement, qui a une spécificité, on n'est pas le copier-coller de Young Life, nous.
We have our own specificity, which we don't copy Young Life, we have our own specificity.
Mais nous avons appris d'eux le ministère de présence auprès des jeunes.
One thing we learned from Young Life is the ministry of presence.
Et nous formons nos animateurs à être présents au monde des jeunes, aller là où sont les jeunes.
So we train our leaders to go where those young people are, into their world, to be connected and to go into their world where they are.
Je dis toujours aux animateurs, où sont les routes de Galilée d'aujourd'hui? Où rejoindre les jeunes aujourd'hui?
I always tell my leaders, where are the roads of Galilee?
Galilee? Yes.
Where are those roads today? How do you go out and meet the young people today?
Où Jésus aurait été aujourd'hui?
Where would have Jesus been today?
Et je crois qu'il aurait été particulièrement à la rencontre du monde des jeunes.
And I think he would have gone out to meet those young people.
Et nous les formons à ça.
Into their world, and we meet them there.
C'est très nouveau dans l'Église catholique.
And it's very, very new in the Catholic Church.
Parce que normalement, les animateurs ont été formés pour enseigner aux jeunes qui venaient.
Because normally, the leaders would have been trained to teach to those young people who come to them. And we're not trained to go out to the young people.
Comment devenir les amis des jeunes sur les routes des jeunes?
How to become friends of those young people on their own paths and roads.
Et là, on chemine avec eux.
And that's how we walk along their
C'est la
side.
première réponse, ça.
That's the first answer. You're in trouble. This guy likes talking.
Oh yeah, I can tell already. So the whole idea then, Patrick, is you have the leaders come to you and your team, you train them, and then you release them to be able to evangelize and really connect with young people, both in Canada and Quebec, as well as in France, now in Romania. This is growing.
Yes.
Oui, c'est la seconde réponse.
Plus qu'une minute.
Nous avons mis en place des programmes. Nous avons maintenant 3 ans de programmes pour toutes les trois générations avec lesquelles, les 3 tranches d'âge avec lesquelles nous travaillons.
This is the second answer. We have put together a toolkit of data for 3 years of programs to work with young people of those 3 age groups, from 12 to 15, 15 to 18, 18, 25.
Et nous avons 600 pages de programmes maintenant.
We have 600 pages of programs.
Pour faire gagner du temps aux animateurs
so
dans leur
that leaders
préparation.
don't waste any time in their preparation.
Pour être avec les jeunes.
So they have more time to be with those young people.
Et nous formons maintenant des formateurs pour former de nouveaux animateurs.
So now we're training leaders of leaders so they can train the leaders.
Et nous avons fait des programmes spéciaux pour ça aussi.
And we've made special programs for that too.
And so what is the response that you're finding with young people? You know, as you said, 2 generations of not being connected with the church. And now there's this probably a lot of hunger, maybe a lot of questions about the faith, about who God is. What has been the response as your leaders have gone out?
La première découverte pour les animateurs que nous avons formés, c'est de prendre conscience que les jeunes avaient des soifs et des attentes.
So the first thing that was discovered for those leaders that we trained, the first thing they discovered is that they actually became conscious that these young people had a thirst.
Parce que
that needed to be quenched.
Pour beaucoup de leaders disaient, il n'y a plus de jeunes dans l'Église.
A lot of leaders would say there's no more young people in the church.
Alors, ça veut dire que les jeunes ne sont plus intéressés par
So
Dieu.
it means that young people are not interested in the church anymore.
Mais quand ils vont à la rencontre des jeunes,
But when they actually go out and meet those young people,
ils découvrent que les jeunes ont des attentes.
they realize that these young people
Il
have a
faut
lot of
accompagner ça.
a thirst, and that it is needed to be accompanied, it's needed for us to work with them.
Et notre premier travail dans la formation, c'est faire ce changement de paradigme.
That's our first job, is to get leaders to change the way they're thinking about young people.
Arrêter d'attendre,
To stop waiting for them,
aller à la rencontre des jeunes
to go out to them,
et répondre aux questions des jeunes.
and to answer the questions the young people have.
Thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us. It's an honor for us to be here.
Thank you very much.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.